PianoLessons.com, the #1 name in piano lessons online.
Hi, I'm Nate Bosch with PianoLessons.com. Today we're going to learn how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. I want to teach you this song for two reasons. One, you get to learn how to play a song. Another is to try and train your ear to listen for the right notes and how to listen for them and what to do to find out where that melody goes. So let's start. We're going to start on the E above middle C. So we know how the song goes. Mary had a little lamb. So we'll Mary, and the melody goes down. Well, there's our first line. So the melody goes down, comes back up. So Mary had a little lamb. Getting there. Melody goes back down a little bit. Little lamb, little lamb. Does a bit of a jump. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. Well, just went through the song fairly quickly there, but you can see that we're working with this span of 5 notes. Well, we've created a whole little melody just using 4 of these 5 notes. Start again on the E. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. Now it all seems to be based around, your ear kind of drives you towards the C. The C would be what we would call the root. And we would be basing this song on the notes of the scale, the C major scale. So, based on that information, we can say, okay, now we've started on C. That's our root. It's also the key we're playing in. So when we start to build the chords that go along with this song, we know that our root is C. So let's put in our left hand, let's put a basic triad C major chord. Now we're going to start our melody in the right hand with the E. Just play a chord really simply. Seems to work just over the C chord. Now when we go to the, it doesn't quite work with that chord. It wants to change there. So we've got Mary had a little lamb. Now we're going to change the chord here. Little lamb. Now in my left hand here, I just moved the bottom 2 notes of that C chord, moved them down a step, and that gave us a G chord, but in the first inversion. So we've got Mary had a little lamb, move to the G, little lamb, and now we go back up to that E, and we find that E in our root chord again, so little lamb. Now if you look there, we've got 3 of the notes so far in that melody, all are based on our C major chord. And then it repeats that again. And we go to the G. Its fleece was white as snow. We have 2 chords, 4 notes, and we've just played a little song. I'll play it for you again. Well, in training your ear, I want to give you another little tip. We know now that our root was the C. So we've played the scale, the C major scale, and we've based the song on C. And we know that we started the song on the 3rd note of the C major scale. So let's just pick another note to start on. If we start on A, for example, if we count down 2 from that, A is the third note in the F major scale. So now we know, based on that information, that our root is going to be F. We're starting on the third note of the scale, and we're going to be using those 4 notes. So now based on just using your ear and using that knowledge of where the root is and where you start, we can play it in another key. Let's play it in the key of F. Now this is going to be the 5 chord in the key of F, which is the C. And back up to the root chord, the F again. So not only are you learning a little bit more about the other scales, but you're able to train your ear. Doesn't matter where you're going to play it. We can play it in E flat. Or if you want to play it in F sharp major, we know that F sharp is our root. We know we start on the third note of the scale. And everything is based around the F sharp major scale. Now, easiest way to start is where we did on the C scale. But as you start to develop your ear, you can start on any point of the keyboard here and be able to find your way around the song using your ear. As you start to develop that and you understand the notes and how the chords work together, it just takes your playing to the next level. And there you have Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I think, what was that, 4 keys? There you go.